Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel today. My name is Debbie and I'm a YouTuber based in the US. I basically talk about my life experiences, my lifestyle and my relationship alongside my partner. And for those of you that are just watching my videos for the first time, thank you for deciding to click on that video. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe on the button down below. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate and I do not take it for granted. You can see from the title of this video that I'm going to be talking about my experiences here in the US. I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I realized when I got to the US, how I dealt with culture shock, how I dealt with like the differences between my home country and the US. You know, there are two different countries and two different continents, so they are definitely different. You know, the US has been painted in the media as this green land, this land flowing with milk and honey, you know, this utopia where everything is like really good, everything is going well, you know. But coming to the US, there's definitely been like shock, and you know, realizing that whatever the media paints is untrue. So just basically adjusting to all those things. I'm going to be sharing the experiences of how I dealt with some of those things. So homegirl, you know, was really excited about coming to the US. I was like, ooh, like, you know, I was really excited. Like, I wanted to come to the US that everyone has been talking about, you know. I just had like this picture, this image, you know, in my head. Like when I landed at the airport, the first thing I noticed was like the hostesses were talking so fast. Like I was like, what are they saying? Like they were just announcing, like people that were giving announcements, like your flight is this, your flight is leaving, like blah 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 blah. I'm like, what is going on? Like I can't hear anything, you know. So that was like a shock to me. And then one thing I realized, that when I got to the airport, one thing I realized was like I looked around and I noticed that everyone was like, almost everyone was white. Like, and then it dawned on me that, oh my god, I'm in a new country, I'm in a different, like I felt like in a different planet entirely. Because I mean, coming from a homogeneous country where everyone basically has like the same skin color, like you never got to really identify by your skin color, you know, like you never got to identify as, oh, I'm black or I'm white, you know. But coming here, I just realized that, oh my god, I'm actually black. And if you guys are even following what is happening all over the world, like even like you can realize that you would find out that the US is basically like people are classified here by their skin color. Like it's really insane. Like when I got here, I realized how much like color is a differentiating factor, like an identifying factor for people. Like even when you're filling like job applications, like it's like everywhere, like they ask you what is your ethnicity, what is your like, and the ethnicity is by color, like white, black, you know. So it's really like, that was one shocker for me, guys. So when I as time went on, like I realized how much people smiled so much here. Like coming from a country where everyone was like hustle and bustle, like Lagos, everyone is like going about their business, no one cares about you, like, you know, just like New York, that kind of vibe, you know. And like people would, you would be walking on the road and people just pass you with a smile, like just. At first I was like, what is going on? Is there something on my face? Like what? Like sometimes I have to look at like maybe the glass, like maybe like a building that has like a glass, and be like, what is on my face? Why are people smiling at me? Like, do I look like a clown? It took me some time to realize that it's just part of like the culture. Like people just, it's more like acknowledging your presence or acknowledging you, you know. Like it was really shocking for me, and I got used to it actually. And now I would say I also do the same. Like I smile at people too when, you know, I'm passing on the road, I'm passing by, you know. Even sometimes people even say hi, hello, like here and there. Like I was like, oh my god, people are nice here for them to be smiling at me and everything. And another thing that I discovered was how people make small talks here. Like it's like a big thing here. I remember someone walking up to me at the airport, and the person was just telling me about like how she was going for a family member's burial. Like I don't know this person from anywhere before, like, and the person just walked up to me and was just telling me, and I was like, why are you telling me this? Like it's not my business. Like I really don't want to hear your story right now. Like I was really shocked because I was tired, I was jet lagged, and I was wondering, like, is this how people just tell like all their family stories or their family history like to random strangers? Like because coming from my like my country or even Africa in general, people are kind of, you know, private. They can tend to be more laid back when it comes to like sharing like secret or talking about like family, or you know, just generally talking to strangers, you know. But here people are open. Americans are more open with strangers. They don't really like, they don't have difficulty in just talking to strangers or having like that conversation, you know, just little conversations here and there. You could be in the bus or you could be in the elevator and someone would just be like, oh, nice weather today, you know, oh, I love your shirt, I love your this, and or talk about like the sports, you know, like to complete strangers. Like I was really shocked that people would, you know, just talk to you without, like, you don't know this person from anywhere and someone just talk to you about what is going on, you know. There are times that in the elevator or in the bus people would like, nice weather. Sometimes I'm like, I really do not want to talk to you right now, can you stop talking about this? Sometimes you just have to answer and, you know, respond to them because you don't want to look rude or you don't want to, you know, seem weird, you know. There's this rule about 3 seconds conversation, I think 3 seconds rule. So the 3 seconds rule is basically like in America here, it's like you do not want to have like awkward silence between you and the next person, like for 3 seconds. So you basically have to just keep like conversations going, because for Americans it's really awkward when they're in the space and everywhere is really quiet. Guys, another thing I discovered in the US is transportation. So being used to the mode of transportation back in Nigeria, it's very easy to get public transportation. Like you can easily flag down a bus or flag down a bike or something, you know. But here it's quite different. Especially in the city, it's easy for you to get like public transportation, right? But when you get into the suburbs, if you're living in the suburbs, it's really hard to get public transportation. And I discovered that here it's a necessity to actually own a car. And if you don't have a car, you would basically you would suffer, like you would suffer like, and I suffered for a while, you know. So when I got here, I was living with a Nigerian family at first before I settled on my own, and the distance between the house and my school was really far. I had to take like 3 buses to get home most of the time, and sometimes I get home really late because I have to follow the bus schedule. I would go to work, I would go to school, go to work after, and you know, then get home. There were times I got home like past midnight, even like sometimes almost 1 a.m. at night, and it was actually frustrating. Most times I had to be like outside in the cold, especially. And fall season is basically when winter is kind of kicking off. So it was terrible sometimes. And there was this time that there was this time, guys, that I was walking on the road, because most times, like when I get off the bus, sometimes I have to even walk like long distances before I get to the house, or long distances before I get like to the bus station. And there was this day I was walking on the road and like a car stopped, and it was like, hey lady, do you want to get in? I could drop you, it's too hot, the weather is too hot for you to be walking, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, you know, Americans, you know, with the mentality that, oh, Americans are nice, I'm just gonna hop in, this person just wants to help me, you know. And I got into the car and the person dropped me home. And guys, this happened like 3 different times, like 3 different occasions. Like I don't know, looking back, I would not do what I did. Like now I understand how America is, how America works. Like guys, there are a lot of like human traffickers, like serial killers out there, like people that are crazy, mentally deranged people. Like sometimes I just like think back and I'm just always like thinking, God, what if I entered the car of someone that was, you know, insane, that was someone that was crazy? Like what would have happened to me, you know? Like I was so naive then and thinking that, oh, Americans are nice, you know. And it's so funny that I did it like 3 different times, guys. But that just you know, that just like reiterates how transportation is here, and how owning a car here is really big. And coming from Nigeria, like I never drove. My parents basically drive. My dad drives me everywhere, my brother even drives, but I never really felt the need to learn how to drive, or you know, drive myself, because there was no need for it. Guys, there were times where I was so tired, like I was frustrated, like getting to walk long distances. There was this day that rain beat me, like outside because I was waiting for the bus, and somehow I think the bus never showed up, and I was like really stranded. I was stuck. So there were times that I would be using the map to know the next bus to take, know where to go to, which direction to navigate to. And my phone literally died some of those days, guys. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm basically stranded. Like, sometimes I have to hop on the bus and be like, ask the driver, I'm going to so place. There was this day that I met a driver, and the driver was like, where are you from? I was like, Nigeria. I was like, are you JJC? Like, and I was really surprised that he knew what JJC was, and he was like, oh, he had like Nigerian friends, and he kind of directed me where to go to. There were times that I was basically, there was this night like I was stranded. Oh my god, guys, I was so far from home. Like, I did not even have like a bus card at that time. I was still paying like the bus fare with my money. And if you don't have like paper, like you need cash to pay for bus, and you need the exact currencies, guys. They're not gonna give you change. So you need the exact currencies. For example, the bus fare could be like $2. You need like exactly $2, whether in coins or in paper currency. So guys, there were times that I would be so stuck, like I do not have like the exact amounts of money, or my phone died and I don't even know the next bus to take. Oh my god, it was crazy. There are times that I would just use my discretion. There are times that I basically walked and get to the next bus stop and try to read like the bus schedule of what the bus stop is, to know, okay, this is the next place to go to. Oh my god, guys, I suffered. I really suffered. There was this time that I was stuck. I was close to home, but the distance was like a mile. No, it wasn't a mile, like 2-3 miles. I don't know how to explain. Like, I'm not really good with like distance measurements, but like it was close to home, but it wasn't close. It was another like 30 minutes walk from home. My phone died. I could not place order an Uber. I could not, like, I didn't even know which bus to take to get to the house, guys. I literally walked, and rain was falling that day, guys. I was so drenched. It was cold. It was for like September, October period. It was cold, it was raining, I was drenched. Oh my god, guys. Guys, I really want to know if you have been in a new country before and you have like experiences like this, just like my, like, let me know if you've experienced culture shock, experience like being in JJC in another country. Just like comment on the comment section, in the comment box. Like, let's talk. Like, let me know how you got over it, guys. I was basically like, oh my god, that day I remember crying. Like, I don't know if I cried, but I was so sad. Like, I was just like, I wanted to go home. I wanted to go back to my mom and my dad. Like, I was all alone. I was like, if I was in Lagos now, like, I'll just call a bike. Like, this was what I was thinking in my head. I was gonna call a bike, or even call like my dad, someone come and pick me up, like, I was so sad. I was like, why did I even come to the US? Why am I here? Like, who sent me a message, guys? Oh my god, guys, it's really an experience. Another thing I noticed here is how big the weather is, especially like people take weather seriously. Now, if you are in Africa, or like in Nigeria, like West Africa, for example, where the temperature is basically almost the same all year round, like it's a tropical climate there, so we don't really have to use the weather. I don't think all my life in Nigeria I ever checked the weather the weather app. Like, we don't, even if rain beats you, like, the rain is not going to even make you sick or something. Like, we never bothered about that. But here, guys, oh my god, like, you have to check the map every single, like the weather map app, sorry, every single day. Like, every single day you would check it like 10 times a day, because guess what, 1 p.m. it can be sunny, 2:30 p.m. it would be rainy, 2:35 p.m. it's snowing. Like, that is how the weather in America is, especially in cities where, like, in states like Minnesota, for example, the weather is like this, like, so unpredictable. So a lot of people you would find out that weather is like even a topic for discussion. For example, like when I talked about small talks, like, you know, weather is like one of the first topic like that people, you know, converse with. Like you could go to, like, for example, I went to the store like some days back, and you know, the cashier is like, oh, nice weather today, huh? Are you enjoying the weather today? You know, like it's just a conversation because it's like a huge deal. It's a big deal here. The winter is crazy. Oh my god, guys. Oh Jesus, guys. So when I got here and I got to experience my first snow, everybody knew, because even in my class a lot of people were like, hey Debbie, how was your first snow? Because a lot of people got to know that, you know, we don't experience winter in Nigeria. So it was really sorry for me. I enjoyed like experiencing my first snow. I was like, oh, so this is how snow looks like. It's just like ice and all. Like I was surprised how cold it could get to. It could get to like negative 50 Celsius. Like it's that bad. Negative 60, I think. Like it's, if I get to a point where Celsius and Fahrenheit, like, yeah, the same. Like at the same temperature, it's that crazy. And then we have like times where there's like this wind chill, and then it's like windy and then snowy, and it's so bad. If you get outside, like you could get frostbite. Guys, I got to know what frostbite is. Frostbite is basically where any part of your body is exposed to extreme cold, like the snow, and that place gets numb, so blood stops flowing at that particular place, and the only solution would be to cut it off because the cells there are dead. Like I was so shocked when I heard. I was like, people actually get frostbite. People actually die of snow, of cold here. Hey guys, like, but I think I adjusted fine. At some point I even felt like people were over exaggerating, because people were like, oh my god, it's cold. I'm like, dude, I'm surviving. Like like, so you can survive. So but there was this time, guys, that I remember, I would never forget that experience. So there was this wind chill period. So that night they told, like, school was closed. So the nights before school closed, like I went to work and I was coming back at night, and then the wind chill just started at that time. It was windy and extreme cold. Like you could get frostbite if any of your body was exposed. Guys, I literally felt the blood stop flowing on my legs. Like it was as if my blood was beginning to freeze. Guys, I was, oh my god, guys, I was panicking. I was so scared. I started running just to generate heat all over my body. I was like, maybe if I run, like I would generate heat, and maybe the blood, it will help like blood circulation. I don't even know what I was doing at that point, but I was like, this was the only thing I could do. Guys, I had to run till I got to my apartment. And oh my god, guys, I was like, that was like the weirdest and craziest moments like during winter here in the US for me. Like it was crazy. I was like, wow, so this is how people get frostbite. So guys, those are my experiences here in the US. If you want to hear more stories, there's still a lot to talk about. There's the food, the culture, the people, like, you know, a lot of things. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if you want to hear more about America, my experiences. I'll be so happy to share. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.